It has come to my attention that a good number of people, foreigners to be specific, that are living now in Finland are still confused regarding the changes on the requirements when it comes to applying for a permanent resident permit here in Finland. And for that reason, I said, you know what? Why not walk step by step with you through the text that has been published by the Immigration Services Office themselves in their website. This is going to be, I think, somehow a lengthy video, but I do hope that it will provide some light so that at least you can know which category do you belong and what changes may affect you. So let's go step by step. There is an article, and I will attach the link to this article that I'm reading right now on the accompanying text. I will even add it on the comment section, especially on TikTok, so you can be able to copy and paste it on your browser and you can go through it. Yeah, but let's just go. I will go through this text as it has been written, and I may try to add some few comments as far as I can be able to do that based on how I understand up to this very moment. But mind you, I'm reading this article today on February 9th, but the article was published last year on 22nd of December. Yeah, so in the article, they have used the future tense language, and that's how I'm going to be reading the article. Yeah, but we are already in February, and future is now. So I hope you'll be able to take that into account. So this is what the article says with the title. It starts by saying legislative amendments concerning permanent residence permit to enter into force in January, which we have already passed. Parliament has approved amendments to the Alien Act, and they will enter into force on 8th of January 2026. The legislative amendments will tighten the requirement of permanent residence permit. Let's go straight to discuss on the general changes. There are 7 general changes, and I'm going to be discussing one by one. Yes, and so I will be adding, like I said before, a few points after each point, if there's anything to add. So number 1, it says, in the future, issuing a permanent residence permit will require, with certain exceptions, 6 years of continuous residence in Finland. That is clear. Number 2, applicants for a permanent residence permit will need to have sufficient knowledge of Finnish or Swedish and a 2-year work history, although some exceptions will apply. Currently, or I would say in the past, you only needed to show your contract and a good pay or enough savings in your account. Of course, most of the time, the only thing which worked was the contract of work. Yeah, but now you have to show you're fluent in Finnish or Swedish language plus 2-year work history. That one you have to take note. But they say some exceptions will apply. So don't restrict yourself if you don't have any of this. Just go, forward, send your application. Maybe the exception will apply to you. It will be possible to obtain a permanent residence permit after 4 years of uninterrupted residence if the applicant also meets one of the following conditions. Number 1, annual income of 40,000 euros or a master's degree or postgraduate degree recognized in Finland and at least 2 years of work history, or particularly good knowledge of Finnish or Swedish and at least 3 years of work history. I would love to add a few comments here. So this point particularly says that though the required period has changed from 4 years to 6 years, you can still get your permanent residence permit in 4 years if you meet these conditions, which condition number 1 was the annual income of 40,000 euros. If you get that, that means you can apply for your PR just after 4 years of residence in Finland. But also, if you have your master's degree or postgraduate degree recognized in Finland and at least 2 years of work history, you can also apply for your PR after 4 years. Now, if you have your degree in Finland, you don't need to have a 40,000 euros annual income. It's either of these. But number 3, if you have good knowledge of Finnish or Swedish language and at least 3 years of work history, then you can apply. So either of these 3 options can enable you to apply for your PR just after 4 years of residence in Finland. I do hope that is clear now. Let's go to number 4. Number 4, it says a permanent residence permit can be obtained without the required period of residence if the applicant has completed a master's degree, a postgraduate degree, or a bachelor's degree in Finland. If the applicant has completed a bachelor's degree at a University of Applied Sciences, the period of residence requirement must be met. Let me also add my comment here. So all I understand from this point is that if you have completed your degree, either master's degree, postgraduate degree, or bachelor's degree in Finland, you can apply for your PR even after 3 years. So you don't have to meet the 4-year period for you to be able to apply for a permanent resident permit. You can apply as soon as you have graduated. So the period requirement will not be required from you. But if you have completed your bachelor's degree at a University of Applied Sciences, then you must meet the required period of residence, which is 4 years long. Yep. Number 5, a child under the age of 18 can receive a permanent residence permit without the required period of residence if their guardian has a permanent residence permit, a P-EU residence permit, or Finnish citizenship. I believe that is clear. Number 6, granting an EU residence permit, in bracket P-EU, to a long-term resident who is a third country citizen requires good knowledge of Finnish or Swedish. Number 7, an unconditional sentence of imprisonment affects the calculation of residence period for both permanent residence permit and permanent EU residence permit. In addition, you must also meet the other requirement for obtaining a residence permit. So you must meet other conditions as well, which are not discussed here, which I believe should be the, maybe the work contract or something like that. In some situations, the conditions concerning language skills and work history are not required or can be deviated from. And there is a link here to amendments to Alien Act regarding permanent resident permit for 2026. So you can go to this page and click the link for you to be able to learn more. So that is it about the new changes concerning the requirement when it comes to applying for a permanent resident permit in Finland. And I do believe that this video provided some light, which, in some way must have helped you to get some clarity on this matter. If you have any question or any need for further information, do not hesitate to let me know by adding your comment on the comment section below. Apart from that, please help me to share this video so that we can reach more people to just spread awareness and more information. Thank you, and see you soon on the coming video. Bye-bye.